Hello, everyone. My name is Stan Skinner. I'm chairperson of the Evidence Task Force for ISIN, the International Society of Intraoperative Neurophysiology. We're going to talk about getting started with a new neuromonitoring questionnaire. ISIN has worked closely with the Spine Tango registry under EUROSPINE to put this form together. Why was the neuromonitoring case report form created? Well, surgeons, hospitals, payers, and others require data on neuromonitoring effectiveness. They ask for answers to the following questions. Which groups of surgery patients, if any, are benefited by neuromonitoring? Which explanatory variables best determine the probability of a good outcome using neuromonitoring? For which spinal pathologies and procedures does neuromonitoring improve or not improve patient outcomes? First thing that must happen is data should be collected on several crucial neuromonitoring variables, such as motor and sensory evoked potentials, of course. Also, the context of alarm occurrence, interventions used to recover evoked potential loss, and the rate of successful evoked potential recovery after intervention. After that, we will use the surgeon form to find patient demographic data, pathology procedures, and begin to match neuromonitoring cases with those cases that were not monitored. Each will have its own distinctive neurological outcome risk. We will compare risks between monitored and unmonitored cohorts. An important aspect will be to look at various surgery strata for different procedures and pathologies. For example, ACDF or scoliosis correction with osteotomy, and so forth. Using a causal modeling strategy, we will identify which neuromonitoring methods, actions, or settings mediate or explain outcome differences between neuromonitored and unneuromonitored patient cohorts. Also, using machine learning methods, we can find out how the prior probability of neurological outcome risk can change by the use of neuromonitoring methods. In other words, the prior probability can be updated to a new probability based on the use of monitoring. Before the neuromonitorists access the registry, the surgeon has admitted the patient, obtained informed consent, entered the patient into the registry, and selected the surgeon questionnaire form. The surgeon selects Add Patient for new patients that are coming to surgery for the first time or admitted to the hospital for the first time. The surgeon would select Search for those patients who are known to the hospital, known to the surgeon. The medical record number is entered into the case report form for the surgeon, as well as other demographic data such as the gender of the patient, the date of birth, and whether or not patient-reported outcome measure forms are going to be submitted. The surgeon selects Save. Now the surgeon can add a new case, meaning a new surgical case to be done the date the registered patient is having surgery. The surgeon can pick from a drop-down list of surgical forms. In this case, the surgery version 2025 is highlighted and then selected. Thereupon, the surgeon can enter the surgery date, which happens to be January 9th, 2025 in this test patient. The questions open up and answers can be selected for surgeon name, surgeon credentials, morbidity state, implants, etc., right down the list of the form. At any point thereafter, the surgeon can enter Save, and the form, although still incomplete, will be saved. After all the questions are answered, the surgeon submits the form. Now the neuromonitorists, whether or not the surgeon form has in fact been completed, can access the Spine Tango registry and fill out the neuromonitoring form. This is most easily done by using a search engine like Google, type in Spine Tango, select that, and enter the Spine Tango registry page under the EUROSPINE website. Scrolling down, the neuromonitors will see access the registry, select that tab, and now the credential login site appears. By now, the neuromonitorist must have a username and a password to go with the rest of the surgical team and the hospital that's already a member of the Spine Tango registry. Once the credentials have been entered, the dashboard appears. The neuromonitorist picks search to search the registry for the medical record number, and then selects search. Now we find that under medical record number 789321, our test patient, there is data there, and we can view data by selecting the magnifying glass icon. Now the surgeon form becomes visible to the neuromonitorist. It is incomplete, but the neuromonitorist can now add a form under case 001, January 9th, 2025. Now a drop-down list appears again of forms. The neuromonitorist highlights intraoperative neuromonitoring and selects the form. The neuromonitoring form appears. The neuromonitorist enters the monitoring date, same as the surgeon date, January 9th, 2025. Again, like the surgeon form, the case report form can either be fully entered and all questions answered, and then submit, or save the form to be finished later. Of course, it's recommended that the form be filled out completely and submitted by the end of the case. The form cannot be submitted until it is filled out. Later, members of the registry can go in and check the status of forms. And in this case, we see 2 incomplete forms, for the surgeon version 2025 and the neuromonitoring form. Well, thank you for participating and getting started with the new neuromonitoring form. I hope it works out well for you. We will also have data on the specifics of filling out the form itself. Thank you very much.